Another day, another path with degenerate control cards. Wait a minute. This trap card has no floodgates, and it has combos instead? Hello everyone, it's Noah here, and today I'm presenting to you Labyrinth. I've been looking forward to an archetype like this a lot, where you can play trap cards but actually no floodgates or nothing that stops your opponent from playing the game. Instead, you just control the board with a big boss monster that benefits every time you activate a trap card as well as their little helpers. Let me go through the deck quickly for you, and after that we can have an example game where I show you some of the gameplay. First we have Absolute Gent Black. First we have Absolute King Batjet, which allows you to banish it from your graveyard to set a trap card. You can get this card to your graveyard using Linkoribo or Relinquish Anemo. Then we have the Labyrinth Storytorby and Labyrinth Chandelier. These are hand traps that allows you to discard a card and themselves to set a Labyrinth spell trap from your deck. They also have a second effect which activates when you activate a normal trap that causes a monster to leave the field, and you'll see this effect in pretty much every Labyrinth card, where Chandelier adds itself back to your hand and Storytorby special summons itself. Then we have the little helpers, which are Ariana and Ariane. Ariana on summon allows you to search a Labyrinth card, and if a trap card causes a monster to leave the field, you can draw a card, and then you can special summon a field monster from your hand or set a spell or trap card. Ariana is similar. Its first effect requires you to send a normal trap to special summon a level 4 fiend from your deck, and its second effect is the same, where a trap card causes a monster to leave the field, you draw a card, then you can special a fiend or set a spell trap. Then we have the boss monster, Lovely Labyrinth. Now this allows your opponent to be unable to respond to your normal trap. It also returns a normal trap from your graveyard every turn, and if a trap card causes a monster to leave the field, you can destroy a card from your opponent's hand at random or one card that they have on the field. We are playing Pool of Extravagance for the draw because we are not really using our extra deck all that much. I have one Heavenly Prisons just so that I can search with Gallant Grenade if I feel like my opponent has too much spell trap removal. And before we get to the field spell, let's talk about the only good Labyrinth trap card, Welcome Labyrinth, which special summons a Labyrinth monster from your deck. It also comes back from your graveyard if a monster leaves the field by a normal trap effect. This is also really good with the field spell Labyrinth, as this also allows Welcome Labyrinth to destroy one card on the field, which can trigger the condition of removing one monster from the field with a trap effect. Furthermore, if you activate a non-Labyrinth normal trap, then it allows you to special summon a fiend monster from your hand or graveyard, which is how you get the recursion of the Lovely Labyrinth if you ever lose it. This also makes cards like Torrential Tribute playable, as you can get back one of your monsters if you have the field spell up. Although I'm not really feeling very confident with this right now, so I'm only currently running at one, but you can definitely add more copies of it. Some really good normal traps are actually Compulse, Archdragon's Prison, Dogmatica Punishment, which are all generic that removes a monster from the field, as well as Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch, which is a new card that basically just destroys the card on the field, and then also foolishes one of your fiend monsters from your deck, which could be Absolute King Batjet, so that you can get more traps for your field. We're also playing Imperm because this is the only hand trap that's also a normal trap card, so it synergizes with the deck, and it also helps us if we are going second to interrupt our opponent. Although the extra deck is not that relevant, the Elder Entity Enters is probably the most relevant card, as you want to send it to the graveyard with Dogmatica Punishment. Since we are playing Pool of Extravagance, you might want multiple copies of this so you don't accidentally banish it, but it is pretty expensive since it's an ultra rare, so it's up to you whether you want to craft more of this or not. You can also use cards like Wind Pegasus Ethnister or Fossil Machine's Skullwagon to get more utility from Dogmatica Punishment. Cyberdyte Androiden is another target which just has high attack points to get rid of anything, but Rooster can control the field, you can get level 4s quite easily. Plus it's a fiend, so you don't really get restricted by a lot of things. You can even make Zeus out of it if you want to. Linkoribos and Relinquish Animals are here just for the King Batjet, Night Fairy Phoenix and Night Unicorn and generic fiends, which are easy to make for this deck. Same with Underworld Goddess, it can also be the Kaiju for this deck. Dart and Access Stores are relatively optional, you may want to cut these. But there can mess with some branded Despia plays, which is why I really liked it, and access to can finish the games if you just have a large field and you haven't really done anything that turn, you've just been trap carding your opponent, then you can maybe just win the game with this, since it's pretty easy to make Nightmare Unicorn anyway. But enough about me talking, let's see this deck in action. And we're doing second. This looks pretty bad for a trap deck, but actually our opponent starts pretty slow. They start with a Uni-Zombie, setting a Zombie World and a Doomkid Beldar to their graveyard and just passing the turn back to us. During the end phase, I am sending my Extra Valtum Labyrinth to the graveyard to get the Labyrinth to my field. This will allow my Valtum Labyrinth to perform better, as well as allowing other Valtum Labyrinth to come back to my field. I'll just set my hand and pass my turn. When they start coming off, I interrupt them using Valtum Labyrinth. This allows me to get the Lovely Labyrinth, get rid of the Beldar, as well as the Zombie World by using Lovely Labyrinth's effect. I activate my Chain Links to get another Valtum Labyrinth to my field for next turn, as well as returning this Story Torby. My opponent will keep using their graveyard to gain more advantage to their field, and synchro off into a Zombie Dragon. I try to stop them from going into a synchro by using punishment and then sending Antis to get their synchro dragon. This will force them to banish their tuner, but they will get some advantage by fall of Extrativeness. Although they ran over my defender, I don't particularly care since none of their monsters are able to defeat the Lovely Labyrinth. They're getting some advantage here, but we're going to try to stop them with Valtum Labyrinth, as well as using Labyrinth, but they're actually Aldol Mazera are just going to protect their dragon and summon itself back to their field as well. Although we can use Lovely Labyrinth to get back Godmitra Punishment, which is really good, and then we can get ourselves another Valtum Labyrinth which we can set on the field and then clear the board as much as possible. They're going to draw for a Uni-Zombie and I'll just stop it right here. Godmitra Punishment to destroy it, and then here comes the Chain Link train, baby. Everything activates when I activate a normal trap and remove a monster from the field. So we get our monster back, we get the trap back, we get extra trap, we get another card in our hand, and we can destroy the last card in our opponent's hand with the Lovely Labyrinth's effect. When they try to use Doomkid Beldar, I will stop it with my Imperm, and then my opponent just decides it's time to concede and surrenders. But I could have continued Trombone off a lot from there, but no need to show that off. Overall, I definitely do need some more Entices, and maybe some tweaks in the deck, as I'm not sure how well one Heavenly Presence and one Granite is performing. But overall, I'm really happy with the deck that is able to interrupt the opponent with normal traps instead of just using floodgates. Now, if you wanted to use floodgates and not be based, you should easily play something like Rivalry of Warlords or Dozen Match, as most of your monsters are just Dark Fiends. You should even afford to run Dimension Shifter or Dimension Fissure in this deck. It's not optimal, but if your opponent starts playing a Graveyard deck and that deck becomes tier 0 in the future, maybe, you know, a little archetype called Tearlament, then you can still rot this deck using Shifters and Fissures if you really want to. But you don't really have to. This deck is performing just well without any floodgates or continuous effects, which is why I really like it, and this is probably my favorite trap deck from now, which is not saying a lot since I don't typically like trap decks, but this deck is just a lot more fun. I really like it. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. I am in Spain. Without the yes. No!